Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news, and still Witch Queen, Season of the Seraph, but you really need to be preparing for Lightfall now, Intel. And in this video, I'm going to be taking you through this week's Grandmaster Nightfall, which once again is the GLASSWAY strike. If you can complete the strike at the Grandmaster level, you will earn yourself the Adept version of the D.F.A hand cannon. You can, of course, get that weapon if you complete this Nightfall at any difficulty. And this is a double rewards week. So that means double exotics and double endgame mats. So if you're low on Ascendant Shards or Enhancement Prisms, this is the last best chance you will have this season to farm them to your heart's content. And it is so late in the season that you definitely want to have a good stock of them heading into Lightfall. The GLASSWAY strike is not the fastest or easiest strike to complete, but it is a lot easier than it used to be. It was kind of the bane of my existence a few seasons ago, but with the champion mods, as well as all the other farms, glitches, tips, and tricks that I'm going to share with you in this video for every single section of this strike, it should make the whole farm quite a bit easier. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on the bell, the post notifications, so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. Any of those things I just mentioned also enter you into any future giveaways on this YouTube channel, and I do one every 1,000 subscribers. We're getting very close to 66,000, so you never want to miss out. It's going to be a Lightfall giveaway. Who doesn't want a free version of Lightfall this close to the actual release? And of course, if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll have a secret hashtag you can leave in the comments section to be entered into that giveaway a second time for this video. And remember, I do a secret hashtag at the end of all videos. So if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, you can always go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. Alright, so as you can see, this is the very first section where you'll be encountering some champions. Big shout out to Ducky and Sinister for helping me actually with this run and get these clips. This is the first area where you might run into trouble as a solo player. I think most people will be able to get through this area currently with the champion mods we have. But if you do run into any trouble, just sort of stay by the entrance there. Stay on the cliff. It's really the best strategy. It's not that difficult an area. You can actually use this area, though, for the next zone, which is probably going to be the first place where people will actually run into trouble. A lot of people don't realize you can actually shoot across this gulf here, this cavern, and actually shoot to where the ads are going to be spawning for the next zone. And that is also where we will encounter our very first spawn trick. Now, this big rock that you see to the right of me that Sinister doesn't pass, you don't want to actually go past that until you actually defeat the boss. That's because when you come into this room, you will be met by a certain number of ads, a mini boss, and a champion. If you go past that rock, you will get 2 more champions to spawn in, as well as another wave of ads. You don't want to be fighting them all at the same time. So the trick is stay behind the rock until you defeat the first champion and the mini boss, or at the very least, the mini boss. You can actually keep one person across in the previous area to shoot across this cavern and actually do damage to some of the ads that are spawning in the back, which can snipe you. But then once you defeat the mini boss and the champion, you can move forward and have the next wave of ads spawn in. Makes this whole area quite a bit easier. The next area is actually kind of like a two-parter here. This is, I would say, the best strategy is to keep one person or 2 people on the left side and then 1 person on the right. If you're doing this solo, I would still stay where we are currently. This room can actually give people a lot of trouble just because if you start dying and you're all stacked up together, which a lot of people tend to do, you can really go through your revives quick. So I would actually make sure that you keep a little bit of separation. At least have 2 people in one place and 1 person in the other. I like to pick this clip just because the big rock here, as well as that little cliff off to the right, allows you to sort of stay back. If you do lose 1 person up here, you can kind of retreat a little bit, gain your lives back. But overall, this area should be similar to the previous, where unfortunately we can't control the ad spawns, but you definitely want to take out the mini boss first, or at least have 1 person working on the mini boss while everybody else tries to mitigate all the champions and the ads. All the spawns for the ads will originally come up this cliff side when you first come into this room, so try to take them out first. Obviously, then you can move your way over here and you shouldn't have too much of an issue controlling the ads because no more will actually come up that far. This room can give people a little bit of issue, but overall, I think it's actually one of the easier stages. Just stay to the right like you see me do here. I actually usually go to the left, and my teammates will usually sweep around to the right. This helps with the one major champion that you'll miss if you, I would say, don't go this way, just because they tend to fall off the back ledge, and they get their health back. So even if you have two people going to the right side, like you see my teammates doing here to actually fight that champion, though they'll probably be able to defeat it as far as power goes or firepower, the champion can fall off of the ledge and into this little hallway that you see me running up here, and that can cause a lot of issue because the champion will get their health back really quick. So I like to go around that way just in case they fall off the ledge. I can shoot them, take down their shields. They're not usually looking at me, so I don't have the aggro, and I'm kind of just there to freely shoot at them as they need. Make sure that you take out all the little bombs that pop out of the ground before you jump across here, and then stay to the left side. There's snipers on the back, on the top cliff that you ultimately have to jump through. That's going to be the actual toughest part of this little area, just because even though you're fighting a champion, the champion's really not that difficult, though he does distract you enough where those snipers that are up on the back can actually take you out pretty easily. So just keep that in mind. And now on to the area where I think people are really going to run into trouble. This is the plate section. Now there is a small wall glitch behind the plate, as you see me using here, that you can completely avoid all damage from any enemies firing at you. But be careful using this spot, because if you die back here, there is a chance that you can actually spawn in the wall and your teammates can't revive you. It also, though it is a unkillable spot, doesn't really help out your teammates that much, and you can't really shoot that much from this area, surprisingly. Even if you just kind of peek the corner, things tend to target you fairly quick because you are somewhat exposed once you look out around the corner. So I would actually suggest just use this strategy where you stay behind the two boxes on the back. You do not have to stay on the plate the entire time. All you need to do is jump on the plate in order to trigger the ads to spawn. Once the ads spawn in, kill that wave, and then get back on the plate and just handle the entire area that way. Jump on the plate, get the ads to spawn in, kill them, jump on the plate again. It'll continue the timer up, and you can just phase down this whole section. A lot of people don't realize that you can actually jump off the plate. You don't lose any of your progress. And then just stay behind these two boxes. Usually we keep two people on one side, one person on the other. Just take care of the ads. Shouldn't be that difficult. And of course you have that back unkillable glitch just in case your entire fire team dies and you need a second to collect yourself. On to the boss. Now the strategy here is left side is the best side. Take out these champions and ads in the very beginning before you actually progress forward. That's because these ads are working on a different spawn rotation than the actual boss ads. But if you again move too far forward past the stairs, like in the previous rooms with the rock, you will get another group of ads to spawn in on top of the ones that are already there. So that just adds a whole other champion that you have to take care of. You don't want to do that. So kill those ones before you move into that left room as you saw us do, or down the stairs. And then move to the left room and set up at this teleporter first. You want to make sure you take out everything on this side first. Nuke everything down here as quickly as you can, and once the boss starts to move your way, head back into the tunnels. This can be a very difficult encounter just because the way the ads spawn in and the way that they aggro into this room can create choke points at times, and you can get flanked. That's what you want to try to avoid. A lot of people use stasis. It's an option. It's not a bad option. I don't particularly like stasis, especially because we have weaken clear and fusion grenades at the moment. So I would just suggest maybe a Blinding Grenade with Vorpal, or Wither Horde if you don't have anything else. That's going to really do the most damage, and the reason I don't like Stasis so much is even though it allows for ad control to a certain extent, it can really disrupt the champions, and you really want to just kill them. You don't always really want to slow them down. You really just want to kill them as quickly as you can. And if you're unable to kill them because they're constantly getting frozen, it just gives the mini boss as well as other champions more time to run into this room and flank you. And later on, you have the chickens. And the chickens are actually tougher than the champions in this particular strike. So just keep that in mind. You want to try to get most of the ads to bottleneck into this particular hallway so that you can just burn them down. With Weaken Clear, it makes the whole thing quite a bit easier. Use rocket launchers if you need, but just try to get them to all come into this area. And then the boss should migrate to this backside here. Now, they're not going to actually come into this room. They can shoot you in the room if you're not paying too much attention. But as you can see, once they kind of get stuck in that doorway, you can really just do easy damage to them. You can shoot them anywhere. I'm shooting through their shield because obviously I had the champion mod on. You can get up to the left here, as you'll see me do, and just take easy shots at the boss. Just try to get them through these phases. Doesn't really matter until you get to the final phase. Obviously, it'll save on time the quicker you can go through this process. So if you want to just send somebody out to just nuke them, just to burn them through this damage phase, it's really where you're going to either spend more time or less time, but it's not difficult time. So this is just being cautious, an overabundance of caution. Now, if you are doing this solo or you are the last member of your fire team and you are just scared that you're going to blow the run completely, you need a place to hide out, this glitch still works. The in the ceiling glitch, conveniently enough, it's in the same room that we will be holding out the majority of this strike in. It's in that hallway that we want to bottleneck all the enemies in. That's unfortunate to a certain extent, but also a benefit in some ways, because if you do throw somebody up there, and you do have two other people that are able to hold out in this area, all the enemies that do come through here you can just shoot down on, and it actually makes that bottleneck even better because you don't take any damage, but also it kind of aggroes them a little bit and they don't really know where to go, so it has a tendency to actually just sort of keep all the ads focused in that hallway, which can help out your teammates if they're trying to do damage to the boss. It's just one of those places that you definitely want to know even if you don't end up using it, just in case. And hopefully, if you know all of these things, you can get yourself the D.F.A hand cannon, the Adept version, maybe just a ton of endgame mats. It really is a great week to farm, even though this isn't the easiest strike or necessarily the best loot for the season. I think just the endgame mats and the exotics alone really make up for probably what is one of the weaker Adept weapons for this season. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 content like this. Remember to follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. Hopefully you can get yourself a Conqueror Seal. Maybe that's something you're actually just chasing after this season if you haven't completed that, or Guild It. I know this was one of the last ones I had to do. And for the secret hashtag, you can leave in the comments section for today's video. Please leave a hashtag GLASSWAY or a hashtag Nightfall. Thanks so much for watching, as always. And once more, I am Wilhelm Scream. Of course, we will see you in the next video.